Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to talk about Pinnacle's reopening, specifically what that means for our pool and splash swim programs. We have received your questions and we'll be covering questions regarding all things swim. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat or feel free to email the aquatics team after this webinar. Just a reminder, this is being recorded, so please feel free to turn off your camera and mute yourselves. Starting with our operations and procedures. We are anticipating opening on or around July 6th. We will open for business once we receive the okay from the governor. All swimmers are to book spaces in advance using Google Forms. These forms will be located on our website to be in line with social distancing. We are allowing 10 people to swim at a time. 2 swimmers per lane. It is very important to swim in the lane that you signed out for. This way we can track everyone that visits the pool and ensure that our ratio we set in place are honored in efforts to keep everyone safe. Upon arrival, when entering the facility using Pinnacle's front door, all members and guests must check in at MS. Then you are instructed directly to your destination. For us, that will be the pool. Masks are required in egress and in common areas. One-way corridors are put in place. Changing rooms and showers will not be available, so plan accordingly. Swimmers, please arrive with minimum belongings, and I encourage to bring a cover up after your swim. All swimmers are to exit the building through the pool door, at the ramp on the side of the building.
All right, thank you, Jade. Next up is our cleaning protocols. Our pool water provides the highest level of protection from viruses and bacteria. As we all, if you don't know, the CDC said there's no trace of the COVID-19 bacteria and infection, anything like that, in pool water. You've probably seen that we have a saltwater pool. It acts the very same as chlorine. It is chlorine. Salt is our chlorinator. We've been really keeping that language constant, just trying to ease all of you and remind you that although it is a saltwater pool, there is chlorine in there, so the water is keeping you safe. In addition to that, all surfaces will be disinfected hourly by the staff, and all equipment will be cleaned after each and every use. Then we will also be implementing a 15-minute grace period between any group classes or groups coming in to clean surfaces and avoid congestion on the pool deck. There will also be markers on the floor to distinguish the 6 feet of separation. Finally, where I expect the majority of the questions to stem from is our program changes. Every program at the pool will follow CDC social distancing guidelines and will be no contact. That means aqua fitness classes will be limited to the first 8 people to register, starting with 3 classes a week and adding more when larger attendances are allowed and common. Private lessons are still available for no contact swim lessons. These lessons are taught in a coaching or teaching style and training with the instructor on the pool deck and the swimmer in the water. Now, this is reserved for stronger swimmers and those who are interested in fitness training. These lessons will typically apply to those in level 4 or higher and children who are at least 4 feet tall, so they'll be comfortable in our deepest section of the pool, which is 4.5 feet. In addition, parent-child lessons are available for younger or less experienced swimmers. In these lessons, the instructor will still be on the deck maintaining that 6 feet, and the child and parent or older sibling guardian will be in the water with them, more hands-on and helping them. And in that, the teacher or instructor will be on the deck teaching the parent how to help your kids. So also when you're not at Pinnacle or when you're not in your lesson time, you have some skills to help teach them, especially this summer. Safety always comes first, and with young children, as well as any beginners, are encouraged to swim with a guardian in the pool with them at all times. In addition to that, if you're not really sure where yourself or your child lies in, should I do parent-child, can they swim on their own? All swimmers are encouraged to attend a swim eval to just best assess the best option for your swimming journey this summer.
For those who participated and registered for session 2, a group lesson schedule will be posted to make up the remaining 5 to 6 classes, as well as info on where and how to register for the class of your choosing.
All right, I think we're ready to move on to some member questions, or if anyone put any in the chat. Lisa, did anything come in?
Yeah, so we have one question. What time and days are the 3 aqua classes anticipated?
That's a good question. Jade, do you want to take this one or you want me to?
You can have it.
All right. Well, as of right now, we're making our tentative schedule. So far, we're usually in the summer at the 9 or the 8 a.m. and the 10. So we'll most likely be 9 or 10 a.m. every day. Again, a full schedule will come out with everything on there solidified in the upcoming weeks. But I wouldn't expect it to be any different than what you're used to.
We're just going to modify it, at least for phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, there's a question about a lot of times for lap swim. Can you explain how we're going to be able to manage?
Of course, I'll definitely take that one.
Right.
Okay.
So for our lap swimmers, each space is going to be booked out. There's going to be 30-minute increments. If you do want to have 2 slots, that will be offered, but it will be some restrictions on that as well. And this is in efforts to kind of book every single space. So it will be 2 lap swimmers per lane, 1 at each side, for the 30-minute slot. And on the Google Forms, once you secure that slot, it will be yours and you will have a confirmation email as well.
Mm-hmm. That's why we encourage everyone to sign up, especially for lap swimming ahead of time. Once someone selects a time, it'll be grayed out for the next person, so there will be no double booking like that. Also, if you book that ahead of time and you want the full lane, you can book out the full lane A and B for a whole hour or the 30-minute increment, depending on really what it looks like and what's available. And then you sign in at Member Services, come down, get right into lane 3 and have your swim. Trying to make it so there's less confusion, hopefully no confusion at all, and sign out your space, use your space, and then you can exit through the pool.
Quick question on, can a lane be used for 2 people?
Okay, so while we're currently in phase 1 and opening up, we only allow, 2 people in the same lane if they're not social distancing, if they live in the same house. Otherwise, 2 people can be using the same lane, but one on the one and one on the other end, So you cut the lane in the middle and one be in 3 feet and one be in the other 3 feet. So not on top of each other, but within social distancing, yes.
And the lap swimming, just to reiterate, what are the time limits for that?
Time limits or time slots?
Well, same thing, I guess. How long can you book each lane for?
So each lane is set up in 30-minute increments. Of course, if you set it up or if you go to log in and it's free the whole day, you can feel free to register for 2 increments in a row to equaling 1 hour. But in the beginning, we ask that everyone just be considerate and mindful of everyone else on this chat and everyone else who would like to also lap swim. If we see that there's someone who booked a full day, we'll just reach out to you and just kind of have a conversation with you about that.
Great. There was a question about the specific days and times for aqua aerobics. Are you planning to do evening classes?
In the beginning, we'll probably start in the morning, maybe 1 in the evening. I'll have to talk to, and as a team, we'll reach out to our evening instructors and see who's comfortable coming in. Again, that will be on our most updated schedule when we're ready to send that out.
I have a question.
If you guys can please put your questions in the chat.
The chat is located at the icon at the bottom of the screen, of the Zoom meeting screen.
Okay, while we're waiting for any other questions, we just want to thank everybody for just being willing to, come out for this time. It's been a struggle to try and, make sure that we can have a plan that is viable and safe for not only you guys as members, but also for our team. And that's really been our driving force to try and create this plan. I know that the playbook we sent out was definitely long, but I do recommend that you take a look at it and kind of review it, because it does give the basis for how we're building the programs. Again, that playbook can change, obviously, if the governor makes any different decisions on how we can proceed. And obviously we'll be following all the CDC guidelines as it becomes available, new changes, and we'll get that out to you.
Hey, can I just go over a question, because I see the same question in the chat a few times. I think a few people missed it, about the available lanes. Now we are projected to open July 6th. However, we are constantly up to date with what the orders are given from the governor as far as for New Jersey. And for our lap swimming, we're kind of working on a, if I'm not mistaken, 9 to 5 kind of hours. And once we give out the hours for lap swimming, we'll have, along with the Google Sheet, that you guys can sign up. So we'll have the monthly schedule as well as the Google Sheet that you guys can sign up for. So it kind of will go hand in hand. So you'll see exactly what's offered to you, and then you can kind of sign up right there. I hope that answered a few lap swim questions.
So there's also a question about open hours. I believe our open hours start at, I think it was 6 a.m. In the morning. So, and then we're going till 9 during the week. And then it's 8 in the morning until 1, and then 8 till 4 Saturday, and 8 to 1 on Sunday is, I believe, what we're going to start with phase 1.
Okay. So as usual, our lap swimming is going to be available during all operating hours of the facility. It just any time requires that sign up ahead of time. So it will say, if as soon as it opens, it will start in the 30 minutes, and then you can choose to select 1 30-minute or 2 30-minute increments.
So there's a good question on the schedule, when that will be posted for available time slots, and also how that's going to be mixed with group swim. Maybe you can go into when you're going to be doing maybe group classes for the swim academy, and then when you'll be doing lap open availability.
Okay, so in efforts to keep our ratio that we have set for 10 people in the water, during group lessons, we will be the only time lap swim is not available, because it will be a closed lesson, and we're looking to do that 3 days out of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So the lap swimming will kind of pair around it, and it will be definitely laid out in a schedule for us.
So to that end, Jade, I believe that means that we will have specific hours that are available, designated just for lap lane swimming.
Correct.
Correct. So how you're used to sometimes swimming laps and then there be a group next to you, there'll not be any of that. If you're swimming laps, it will be 4 lap swim and the occasional private no contact lesson. If we have a group of children in the water, the pool will be closed for lap swimmers. Only for that, I believe, 45-minute lesson and then 15-minute cleaning grace period. So it should be on the hour. Again, our schedule that comes out will be very detailed on the exact times, and then the sign up Google form will reciprocate that. Let's see, any more? Anything we have not touched on?
No, again, like, I guess there's question as to when this schedule is going to come out, and again, we're building that in the next 2 weeks so that we can get that out as soon as possible. We will probably be allowing a 1 week ahead of time sign up. That way, everyone has an opportunity to get in there and kind of plan their week. We also will be monitoring that so that if there's overuse by one person, other people can't get in, like a waiting list, that we can accommodate everybody and working through that. There'll be a lot of manual processes that are going along with this, but the team is definitely dedicated to making sure that everyone that wants to get in there can get in there and, have their time and feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can go into just a little bit more detail, I think, about the locker rooms not being available and how people should be preparing for that. That would be probably helpful.
Okay, so during phase one of our when we reopen, the locker rooms unfortunately would not be available. So we encourage everyone to bring minimal belongings and to travel light, and to bring a cover up or something like they can put right over their bathing suit or swimsuit to exit out. The bathrooms are available, but it just will be in the family locker room. This way we can kind of keep each department to one bathroom.
Okay. If you do have more questions after this webinar, please feel free to contact either myself, Lisa Medawar, or Jade Evans, or Karen Stadmuller. And I'm going to just type their emails directly in this chat here as well.
Oh, and I see a question now coming in saying, where is the family locker room? The family locker room is the larger locker room located just outside of the pool deck. When you leave the pool deck and the pool at all, it's the second door on the right. There will definitely be signs showing you. And when you pass it, you can't miss it.
Maybe just talk a little about the egress coming into the building and how they're going to proceed down. That would be helpful too.
Okay. So for anyone, if you were in the member services, and I believe Jade spoke on it today, everyone will be required to wear masks in the egresses as well as the common areas that some traffic can build up. We will still be maintaining 6 feet. However, when a lot of people get in there, you want to make sure you have that mask on at all times. So you'll walk in through the regular door, scan in at member services, go immediately down directly to the pool. After your swim, it'll be a one-way. So instead of leaving the way you came, you'll leave through the pool door on the side. It has a ramp by it. I don't know if that's what direction. I always want to say the west side of the building, but I'm not sure. So the ramp.
Someone was just arrived late and they just wanted a little repeat of that pool time opens.
No problem. We will release an official schedule. However, 7 days a week, we will have lap swimming available, and to sign up on a Google form ahead of time. So you can book your space and your lane, come swim, hop out.
Great.
All right,
So,
I think
yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, I just, again, I want to thank everybody for, their patience as we're trying to, navigate through this. I know, Karen, you're excited to get back in the water, and Jade is excited to get back in the water, and we all want to, resume our activities. So we're excited for that.
We can't wait to see you all and have you back.
Well, great. I think we're just about wrapping up, unless there are any last minute questions. Just wait just a moment, but thank you for the kind words. I think that about does it.
All right. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you for joining us today. And if you have any more questions, feel free to email us, and we'll try to answer them as best as we can.